Now we do the breakdown and in-betweens, and we will go now from pose to pose and try to make the animation work. And to do that, we will take my live action material and take it as a reference and see what I did by acting it out, and transfer this to the character in our scene. The kind of the method is straight ahead and pose to pose. It's combined. What we did first is we did the poses. It's like pose to pose. We nailed them down. And what we will do now, we will go from pose to each pose and animate forward. This means put in all the necessary details, and so the breakdown and in-betweens, and to make it work. This is my fast pass, so it will not have every detail in it, like maybe finger movements and subtle stuff. But it's like a rough first version that I do. And when I have that, I will go over it again, make it, put in more details, correct it, maybe change the timing. And yeah, that's what we're doing now. So the last time he catches the ball, I copy those keys and put it here, because he throws the ball 2 times. And I can put more time in the beginning. Goes up, goes down, goes down. So he stops moving here. So I make a key, double key here. And as you see, I move always a step forward. So now when he's turning the head, I turn the head halfway. And also move, for a second, sure, I key the whole character at this position. And nail the head down at 50, and from there on he turns the head around and get rid of the double keys there. So there is a transition. As you can see, he moves the ball, and then he turns around the head to the side. 2. So that's the simple animation. And there you see, yeah, it's better because he went down a little bit before the actual movement. So I get rid of that. And maybe change the timing a little bit, so it's not so even. And he doesn't go down so far the second time, so I change the amount. The arm goes down, and then he stays at that position. And now what we do, we put in a blink when he's turning the head, and he will move his eyes just before he starts to blink. So it's like an anticipation for the audience that he will look into that direction. It's very subtle, but it's there. But I don't bring down the eyebrows. They will stay where they are. The way I do it now, I just work in spline. Some people maybe would do it working in stepped, like I show you now. If you go to the graph editor and select all the keys and switch it to stepped, then this could be another way how to animate. Just see the keys that you put in. But for me, if I don't have to, I don't work like that. If you ask me why, well, it's I don't know if it's a habit, and I think a lot of other animators do the same. Maybe a main main difference in stepped and spline is that people do that for the key poses. They work in stepped. And I mainly do something similar. I work in spline, but I transform it with the double keys I use to stepped. But if I take the double keys out, it's spline again. So you could also work like that in the step mode, because then you see straight away the keys that you need. And for the mouth, you could drag him behind while the head is turning, or make a squash while the head is turning. So let me see what I do. I make an overlapping action with the jaw dragging behind. Now, sure, we can animate the ball. We don't forget that. So what I do very often, for example, for the elbow, it's animated, and I want the same keys for the ball at the key position of the elbow. So I select the elbow and the ball, and there are no keys on the ball yet, but I jump with the next key button to the next keys and just press the key button, and then keys of the ball are at the same position as from the elbow. So I just animate it, go up, go down, stay in the hand, but I go back to spline. You can do that here in the timeline too. For me, it's just a more natural way to animate, to do it in spline. And I use this go to the key position, move with the middle mouse button somewhere else, and put the key there. I do that very often. You could do the same by just going to a key pose, pressing the right mouse button, and go copy key, go somewhere else, and then go again with the right mouse button into the menu and say paste it here, but it just takes too much time. I mean, it's not working yet, but it's the basis from that we can work on. Here the ball goes up too early. And the movement of the hand is too soft, so make it more tight. Otherwise it would be too floaty. And floaty, we don't like that. And there is an overshoot in the hand, the ball in the hand. So if I show you the curve, you can see it. There it is, there's the overshoot. And we can get rid of that very easily. And the translation. And this happens if I put in a double key. The overshoot is gone. This is the magic double key. Yeah, it's not wobbling around anymore. And you could do the same in the graph editor. It's up to your preference. The timing of the ball is not right yet, but for now, that is fine. You put in some movement of the hand with the ball and the rotation of the head turning to the side. But what is now missing? You see that stuff is happening. The hand is not just going up and down, it's always going to the side and trying to catch the ball. And this subtle movement we can build in later if there's enough time. And also, if you take a look at the reference material, there's so much subtle movement that is very helpful for your animation. Let's put a little movement on the head. He's following the ball when the ball goes up and down. And also with the following with the eyes. Now, this is it for now, I think. That's basically the way. So he turns around and this will be the next pose. So let's see how many frames we need to get there. So what I do very often is if I have a quick time with reference material, I go there and I click through the QuickTime by counting the frames. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15. 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 15, 15. Settles down in a more extreme pose. And his head is doing a subtle movement at the end. It's very nice. It's like that, hey, here I am, very cool. So we will stay until here for 15 frames. We take all the controllers here, go with the middle mouse button, 15 frames longer. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There we make a key. Make a double key there so it stays in that pose. And from that on, it takes 15 frames until he hits the next pose. We get rid of the two keys, those two keys. Exactly like that. So what we're doing now, you see, he's going in that pose, but it's the pose that is on the way. After that we will go in one that is more extreme, so the hip is not yet rotated in so far and the whole body is not so far yet. So he hits the pose, this one, but we'll go to another more extreme one. So we bring that back a little bit and even more, and exactly then he hits the more extreme at 100, no, is it 100? Exactly. That's the pose before, and he settles down onto the extreme. It's like basically like a moving hold. There we go. As you can see here, the foot is moving. He starts to move, and the other one is moving afterwards. Sliding behind. All that subtle movement will give a lot of life to the character. And also the whole chest rotating a little bit backwards. Exactly, it moves back a little bit, backwards. Let's get rid of this double key. Put in this head rotating up and down. It's so easy to animate if you know some tricks. So what I did, I copied that key here, and his head shake is too strong at this position. So what I do, I scrub through, and I just take the key where I like to be the most extreme, and I take this one, I go with the middle mouse button here, make a key, that's it. So I don't have to go into the graph editor and do the adjustments there. I can do it in the timeline very easily, very fast. So saving. Usually if I have a shot that is like, I don't know, like 100, 200 frames long and there are like 3 or 4 characters in it. So it's possible that I have up to 200 different version numbers. And I do that because I want to make sure that I don't lose my animation if maybe Maya crashes or there are network problems. And we don't want to lose animation because it's really depressing. Save more versions than necessary than making less versions and lose your animation. As you can see, there you have your head shake, and now do some adjustments on the feet. I showed you it again, what is happening. Basically, the foot or the tip of the foot is staying at the same position. So let's see if I can do that. This is the right one. I move the heel up, the tip stays at the same position, and rotate it. Rotate at the tip. Goes up, goes down a little bit more, and now key it here, fix it here, make a double key here. Okay, and then we have to drag this foot behind. Exactly when is that happening? The moment he settles into that pose, when the weight is shifted on his left foot. Here should be the movement of this leg. Make a double key there. Put the key also there. Let's see how he moves the foot. The movement is maybe 5 frames. 5. It's okay. Maybe we go up a little bit. Probably this is too much. And this is maybe a good reason to go into the graph editor, because here you can do very subtle adjustments. Okay, that's good. So let's move on. What is happening here? He shows the audience where he will throw the ball, and then a quick look. The whole body is reacting to his head movement. So let's see how long he stays in that position. 14 frames, he starts to go down. At 10 he looks back on the ball. So use the melt script for selecting the controllers. And we go here for 15 frames. Make a key there. Move on for 10 frames. He moves back already a little bit, and he looks down to the ball that he has in the hand. So this is also like an anticipation for people. I will do something with this ball. I have to get rid of those 2 double keys at the end, so there can be a translation to that pose. So the footstep we will do a little bit later. I think that is fine. Let's see what is happening. He looks there. He makes that step. And his left hand is coming down, and his right hand is coming up. This is a very good example of the principle of follow-through and overlapping action and action. Nothing starts and stops at the same time. See? The hand is still moving a little bit. The head starts to move, the arm starts to move, but first the hand, and then the head follows. The attention goes from the hand to the head, from the head to the hand, back to the face, going to that area, going up to the hand where the ball is in, and everything moves not at the same time. It's overlapping. First that, and so on. The hip and the feet stay at the same position while he's looking at the ball. So we have to lock the feet, make a double key here, and after that we first fix the foot there, move the right one, fix it there, exactly, move the right one, and when the right one stays, the left one goes up into that pose. This little side step here. Whatever, he looks at the ball, and he's doing a little grab. His hip is still there. After the right foot touches the ground, his hip goes first down and then up, and the upper body comes down. See what is happening here? The hand is moving in an arc. Everything is always moving in an arc. Everything in nature. This is a very good example when he throws the ball. His head, his hip, everything is moving in arcs. Moving in arcs is another principle. It just says everything in nature moves in arcs, and this leads to natural and believable and good movements. Alright. The hand should go up like that and move in an arc. It's like an anticipation before the anticipation of throwing the ball. Oh, something is jumping there. I think this could be a nice gimbal lock. So let's take a look. Yeah, it is. So there's a nice feature in Maya. You can select the curves and try to get rid of the gimbal lock. There's an Euler filter, and if you press that, Maya is recalculating or is changing the order in which Maya is using the axis, and then you can get rid of the gimbal lock. So let's see how it looks like now. The arm works better, there's no weird jumping around. The hip stays more here. And when he looks down, the arm will go down, his left arm. Okay, so let's take a look what the head is doing. Looks to the ball, and then he looks back into the direction where he wants to throw the ball. So this is also a kind of anticipation. He looks into the direction and shows the audience, this is where I want to throw the ball. So let's take a look at the head. Looks down at the ball, and then should look to the right of the screen straight away. And the eyes sure should turn into that direction too. Don't forget, this is still the first stage of animation, or let's say the first pass. After I went through the whole animation the first time, I will go through it again and again and again until it's like I want it. So this isn't too bad. So let's save it first, so we don't lose our animation.